Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, mini Motorways. We are off to Vancouver for today's daily challenge where some colors of destinations will always be circles, and we begin with no tunnels. None of them. 0 tunnels shall be part of this production. I don't think that matters in I don't recall there being mountains in Vancouver. I could be wrong. It's been a while since we've been to Vancouver. Cat, do not lick that plate. Hold on. Nora is upset because she didn't get fed this morning. But she will. She will be fed momentarily. And she is not allowed to lick the salty crumb detritus of person food off of plates. Salt is presumably bad for kitties, given that it's also, you know, in excessive amounts bad for people. Bet you that Spotify slider is a little too high. Hey, how about we bring that down? There we go. That'll be better. We're fine with the idea of going to Xanarkand and, you know, saving the princess and whatnot. Saving the princess? Stopping sin, Goog. Maintain the fiction of the video game. Alright, let's take a roundabout. As always with these levels where you're restricted from having a thing, it doesn't really matter what the thing is. You find that you get what you need no matter what. Particularly in an instance where you don't get tunnels and it's like, okay, buddy, you're Vancouver. I don't necessarily fear the lack of tunnels in Vancouver, but I could be missing something. I could also be running these blues. Well, hold on. I was going to do something else. And now we will need to do yet a third else, I think. Okay. Well, actually, this might be a bit of an issue. What we're going to have to do, we're going to draw this up to here. These blues will swing I was thinking we build a roundabout. Yeah, a roundabout right here about. Take this. You need to do that. And you need to do... Uh-oh. Oh, problems. Oh, problems and sadness. Alright, never mind. You can indeed do that. And you can do that. Thereby freeing up you to go that away. Although, I don't think these dark blues actually need to be part of the roundabout. They can just kind of circumvent the whole deal. And once all of this sorts itself out and I pull apart that road that is literally doing nothing. Doot and doot. Yellow's down here. Oh no. Oh, you're not actually connected. Hold on. Buddy, I'll save you. There you go. Yikes. Yikes, that's a lot of awful happening. This dark blue here goes over there. That one's not a problem. I'll take 40 road tiles. I think we can get away without a roundabout for a moment. And we desperately need more road all of a sudden. This shit has gone south. All right, the 3 of you come up into here. The 2 of you go over there. That should, generally speaking, be fine. So I had an adventure yesterday. Oh, God. I've been, as I think I've been, posting and talking about, I've been recording video of myself and some friends playing Overwatch again, because we've gotten back into playing Overwatch and we're having a good time, and I think it will make for good, fun, enjoyable content. So, I've been recording video, and we've been having a good, fun, enjoyable time. And you know what? Spoiler alert, there is a video coming out on the channel Friday, and I think it will be some good content. However, the first few batches of video that I recorded, I looked at in my video editor, and I realized, oh my god, this is garbo crap. This is like, unwatchable, heavily grainy, highly pixelated. What the hell is going on with this video? A garbo crap. And I looked and I did some research, and it turned out that for a very long time, like years, my video settings in OBS were suboptimal. They were not, as the kids say, what you want. Instead, they were bad. So I changed them to make them good. However, a side effect of making your recording settings good is that it also makes your videos big. And when your videos are big, then it becomes difficult to have your video recordings and your video games on your same 1 terabyte SSD hard drive. It becomes, in fact, untenable after enough time. It got to the point where I had deleted every game off of my SSD except the games that I was actively playing for the production of content, which basically meant that I didn't have Mass Effect Legendary Edition installed anymore, which I like to keep handy because it's my security blanket video game, and I didn't keep Baldur's Gate 3 handy because while I had been doing a playthrough with a friend, it had been a few months at that point. I don't think it had even been 2 months, but it had been a while since we played. So, and even still, despite that, I had like 30 gigabytes free, and I was producing, a typical video takes 20 gigabytes an hour. So that's, again, not tenable. We could not ten it. Instead, can I get this yellow down around here? No, I cannot. Okay. Well, hopefully the map will expand just a little bit further to the south, and I'll be able to loop this yellow down around into here. If not, we'll have a problem. Also, we have blues over here, and this blue here, and this, well, once again, could be a problem. We'll see. Oh, Lord. All right. Ow, 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 ow. We shall take Motorway, and with that Motorway, we shall, at least for right now, what we're going to do is, do I want to put, actually, you know what? I'm not going to motorway these blues. Instead, I'm going to motorway these grays right here. They're going to go up like so. And part of the reason for that is that it will allow me to feel a little bit better about this yellow just kind of poking its head in here and helping to support that circle. Once that pulls its head out of its collective ass, boop, boop, we get that bridge back, and that means I don't feel bad sending these dark blues up over here to this business. And now we have greens, and the greens also want to be down here, but I can't presently get them there on account of lack of bridges. So, eesh. This I don't think is going to be a problem until Monday. If we don't get a bridge or a motorway, like if it's one of those weeks where the choices are traffic lights or roundabout or like road tiles are involved, we're going to have a problem. But hopefully we get a bridge. A bridge here would be nice and simple. A motorway would be a decent temporary fix. I'd rather just have the bridge to deal with it, honestly. So I bought myself a 4 terabyte hard drive, and at a glance, and this is my fault for being stupid. Oh, speaking of things being my fault for being stupid. Oh, bastards of damn. Okay. That's a problem. Okay. Well. Huh. We draw that straight-shottedly right there. I don't think that becomes a major issue. Well, I don't think that solves the major issue. would be a better way of describing that. Oh, let's see here. So we've got yellows. They go up that way. We've got this roundabout. I sort of want to incorporate more... Oh, Lord. Oh, I have an idea, but the idea is bad. If we... Okay. Well, first of all, if I pull you out of the roundabout, you can go off that away. Next, if we do this, I'm not going to murder motorway number 2 because I'm probably going to want to reposition it. If we do this, you can enter there. You can enter there. These two can be repositioned such that one exits there, one exits there, one exits here, and for the first time in a long time, we've drawn a proper octo road. So this is now a proper octo road with grays going up here into the roundabout, and sorry about all of this tree. Once this motorway clears itself, it'll go over there. I mean, theoretically that works, but in all practicality, this is going to be a rat-like almost immediately. And the addition of more blue circles is not gonna help it. You go that away. You go that away. Yeah, grays here is gonna be a problem. This is not gonna end well for, frankly, anyone. But so I bought myself a hard drive. And at a glance, because I'm a person who doesn't understand things and I don't pay attention and I'm just stupid, I thought I had gotten an incredible deal on a 4 terabyte SSD for $85. That is not the case. It is not an SSD. It is a straight up regular internal. It's big and slow. It is not an SSD, which means it is not super fast. But it was still a 4 terabyte hard drive for $85, which, you know, is a reasonable expenditure, I think. It's a decent amount of money to pay. It's a decent amount of money, but not a horrible amount of money to pay for a very valuable item that, if properly applied, would basically solve my problem. All right, let's take a motorway. And we've got an issue developing here. We have this light blue business. Now, I could theoretically toss a few more cars onto this road, which then feeds into the already horrendous rat-like, and then gets itself up that way. You may understand why I'm disinclined to do that, based on my description of this road as, quote, an already horrendous rat-like. So, instead of doing that, what we'll do is I'll grab these 3 greens right here, and we'll turn them into motorway number 3. We'll draw motorway number 3 right there to get these greens over to this. And that, in so doing, will free up all of this road, all of this light blue right here. This light blue house has spawned on this road and is immediately going because there's no other support system there, which I understand. Fortunately, now we can solve that problem. So hopefully now... Actually, I'm just going to try.
Hear ye. Let the record show that this viewer was here first.
Sunflare's Space was here first. Good afternoon, Sunny. All right. Let's do this, and I can't even cut that corner, and doesn't have enough footprint there, so we're gonna have to go up and around and down like so. This clump of light blues will go over that away. So the plan is that these light blues here come up here, bridge themselves that away into this business and provide the primary support for this light blue circle. There are light blues that have spawned here and that I'm, gently directing there, to be honest with you. These 2 light blues here, these 3 light blues here, they could theoretically provide assistance here, but I have already built a literal octo road. So if we can take light blues out of the equation for the literal octo road, that would probably be good. That would probably be good. Oh, Lord. All right. Hi there. You're a gray. I don't have anything to do with you. Incidentally, hi there. You're a gray is what Miranda Bailey said when Lexi arrived at, I don't remember what the hospital in Grey's Anatomy was called, but trust me, I'm making a Grey's Anatomy joke, and it's very funny. Let's see here. So I got a motorway, which is good. It will allow me to direct some grays in this direction over here, which is probably for the best. Let's do this. Well, first of all, I think I'm going to make the Ratwike a little less Ratwikey here. Because I realized that what I can do is I can run these blues up here, bulldoze that tree, sorry about that tree, and we can have this lovely little gray road right here connect this off-ramp to this business, and now these 4 gray houses are in charge of this, which is all fine and good. We can also have these 2 grays right here take motorway number 4 and zoom like so. So these 2 grays support this business. These 4 grays here support these 2 businesses. That's 1 less business being sustained and supported by the Ratwike, which is something. Is still not great, but hey. So I bought myself a 4 terabyte hard drive, and I said to myself, Self, how hard can it possibly be to install this damn thing, right? You pop open the side of your thing, you plug it into a thing, you maybe do a little bit of light screwing, and you move on with your life. Well, yesterday, I was supposed to be working from like 12 to 8, and then at 12 o'clock, the job canceled, so I suddenly had the afternoon to myself. And I said to myself, Self, perfect time. This is the exact right time. You can do the thing. You'll have plenty of time to play games and produce videos tonight. Oh, it shall be a joy and a treasure and a wonderful experience for all. So I pop open the side of the computer, and I quickly remember that computers are stupid. Computers are stupid and evil, and anyone who tells you that you can work on them yourself is dumb. Is a dumb person. Is a person who is actively working against your best interests in pursuit of, I don't know, getting their jollies. I don't know why there are people in this world who insist that people in this world, such as the _Goog, can and should be trusted with their PC issues. But those people are con artists. They're monsters. I don't know what they get out of it. Probably chuckles. Like, there are people who are knowledgeable about computers, and then there are people like the _Goog who fashion themselves as generally smart people who can figure shit out until they start working on computers. Did not have a good time. Alright, so we've got a developing problem. I think that's a fair characterization. We have a developing situation. We've got another light blue over here. I think what we're going to do is take this road here, make that go away. Instead, we're going to run motorway to here, connect these 2 businesses, leave this one dangling in the breeze for all to see. Then, we're going to sever this connection here. And I realize that this does involve putting more pressure on my Ratwike, which I don't love. Listen, it's a bad side effect of this plan that it involves putting more pressure on the Ratwike, but it is what it is at this point. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to try to draw this, well, on the first try. Good job, Goog. So these, let's say 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light blue houses will come up here, support this business. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 light blue houses will come here, support these 2 circles. And these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 light blue houses will be involved in this road going into the Octo Road, coming up here and supporting this double circle plaza, which itself is inherently doomed. Part of the reason I'm sort of almost okay with the development of this Ratwike is the knowledge that this was just inherently doomed by virtue and dint of being a double circle plaza. Also, I have a spare bridge and a developing problem with these dark blues because they're currently being supported by these 3 blue houses, and 3 blue houses with this long a road just simply cannot hold up to the pressure of 2 businesses. So, what we'll do instead is we'll draw a nice, simple road just like that. So these 1, 2, 3, 4 dark blue houses can support this business way up. Fuck you too, buddy. All right. So you'll go over that way. We'll move the off-ramp of motorway number 4 here. And now these 5 dark blue houses will support these 2 dark blue businesses. God. Okay. Is this actually going to be okay? Theoretically. I think in practice, we might have issues. Yeah, in practice, adding another circle's worth of problems to the Ratwike has compounded the Ratwike issues, and also troublingly, these 6 light blue houses here, not actually capable of supporting 2 light blue circles. So let's take a roundabout and have ourselves a think. It may, in fact, behoove us to think. Okay. So, I don't really know what I'm supposed to get out of thinking here, though. Because, well, if I were the king of the forest, I'd make so many changes around here. Y'all have no idea. Alright, I've got these light blues. They're presently not really doing anything. And I've also got a fair whack of road tiles. If I do that, then these light blues can theoretically mosey their way up here and contribute to the support of these 2 circles, which isn't going to do anything to solve this problem, but one problem at a time. Oh, hi, buddy. You're a weird green friend. Why have you spawned there? So, well, okay. Let's put a roundabout right here, I guess. And we'll do that. And also that. Well, that seems horrendous. I think that's a war crime in some places. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, honestly, the whole point of this at this point is to just keep everything alive until this double plaza inevitably kills us, because it cannot be evited. It is going to happen that this double plaza, if nothing else kills us, is going to kill us. So there's a certain element of just let it be about, well, everything. We got more yellows going on here. We've got this yellow circle with which to contend now. Yeah, this Octo Road is presently doomy. Yeah, Sam, that is an old school, straight up oh, Goog roundabouts don't work as well as you want them to rat-like situation that we got going on here. Oh, let's take 40 road tiles because I don't think 2 traffic lights are going to save us. I don't really have I don't have an out at this point. Like, if I got a motorway, I could probably peel some yellows out of the rat-like, and that would solve, like, a little bit of the problem. I could have some of the light blues maybe come situate this. And just, like, the issue is you want to reduce the traffic load, but no, at this point, these yellows are just dead. Okay. All right, fine. So I crack open the side of the computer, and I quickly realize that computers are bullshit. 1,348 is a decent but an unspectacular score, and Samurai Sam's number 3 in the world, so go ahead and drop those Samurai Slams in the chat if you haven't already done that. At a glance, there's one side of the computer that's open and has computer guts, and there's another side of the computer that doesn't appear to be for anything. There's another side on the other side of the case that just appears to have, like, loose cable storage and ventilation and shit, so I quickly close that up, and I go about examining the side of the computer that actually has access to the computer guts, upon which I discover that it doesn't have access to the guts that I need, and there is a little metal box. It looks like a little metal box, and it looks like under that box there are a couple of cables that go in there, and I take a gander under there, and it looks like, oh hey, I think that's a hard drive, and I think that means it's plugged into the motherboard, and I think I need to get to that. So I, like a stupid person, don't consult the internet or anything, I just grab a screwdriver. And I start, twisting and turning and undoing shit, and I quickly realize, oh, I can't crack open the bottom of my computer. I can't crack open the side that I've already cracked open. Huh. So I put everything back together. This process has taken an hour at this point. And I finally consult the internet. And the internet is like, hey, fucko. Hey, dumb shit. Hey, stupid guy. You remember that side of the computer you opened that looked like it had nothing but cables and shit? Dummy, that's the thing you need. So I reopen the side of the computer that has all the cables and shit, and I move all the cables and shit. I am very much, at this point, I'm a surgeon operating on a patient where their intestines have just been herked out of their body and splayed all over their chest. It's less a computer at this point and more a little metal box containing several thousand wires, most of which are on my coffee table, but still connected. God. Let's do Wordle. Where'd my Wordle go? It's over here. Doot. And doot. And doot. There we go. So the patient's guts are all splayed out in front of the table, but the good news is I finally have access to the place where I need to go. The bad news is the place where I need to go, guess wires. It can't be wires because that's a 4-letter word with an S at the end of it. But I will guess cable. Could be cable. It's not cable, but there's a C in it, so that's, something. It's not Sonic, but there's an I in it, which is, again, something. And I realize that the hard drive and the motherboard are plugged in, are screwed literally to the very bottom of the computer. And those random screws at the bottom that I had been futzing with, not really knowing what they did, yeah, they were just what was keeping my hard drive in place, which I then jostled a bunch. So that's great. That's reassuring. I'm very happy I did that. I eventually undo the sled holding the hard drives, and I slide the new hard drive into the sled, and the video says, now take your screws, which you got when you purchased your case, and put fashion the hard drive to the thing. Remember, your big internal hard drives, not your tiny little 2.5 inch, but your 3.5 inch ones, your big heavy ones that are the size of a 1980s music cassette or something, those desperately need to be screwed in. If you don't, you'll die. You won't actually die, but your computer will die, and then you'll die of a heart attack, of anger. That might just be me. Anyway. So you desperately need to screw this thing into position so that it, stays in position. And the screws are not there. They just didn't come with the hard drive, and they certainly weren't in the computer case, and they may or may not have come with the computer. But listen, friends, I bought that computer 3 years ago, and it was stupid. There's no fucking way I held on to these special fancy screws. Thankfully, they're not actually special fancy screws. They're just a very particular manner of screw. And the video I was watching was kind enough to say, hey, these should be 632 coarse threaded screws. Okay. Luckily, because I am a person of civilization, there's a Home Depot 1.5 miles from me. So I go to the Home Depot, and I need exactly 6 of these screws, and they sell little baggies of screws with exactly 6 of those screws. So, $2 of screws and $2 of gas, not even $2 of gas, but a little bit of gas later, I'm back home. And I screw the thing into the thing, and the thing says, now you need these cables. And one of the cables should be in your computer. And lo and behold, one of the cables is in my computer, and the other isn't. The other cable just isn't. There's a power cable so that you can pull power from your power supply and your motherboard and all of that, but there's also supposed to be a data cable that connects everything to everything else, and that data cable was not there and did not come with the hard drive. So I had to go out again. God, let's take Sports Fun has heard this rant already. And anyone who is in my Discord server has seen this rant in real time. It is still the rant. Let's see here. We have a C and an I. I suppose it can't actually be civic because that I and C would be green. Let's see here. It could be... no, it can't be chain because there's no I. No, A, rather. Can't be chins because we know... Well, first of all, we know that the C is not the first letter. And we know that it's not going to be a 4-letter word with the S at the end of it. And we know that there's no S in the word. So generally, good word, Goog. What about trick? It could absolutely be trick. There's nothing saying it's not trick. It is, in fact, trick. Hooray! I'm smart and good and figure stuff outy sometimes. Only sometimes. Let us ponder where Mr. Obama may be at this point in time. For a moment, I have rodent brain. I'm smart and good, sort of. So, I need this one particular SATA data cable. I need a SATA data cable in order to get my hard drive to talk to my motherboard, in order to get my shit to work with my shit. There is 1.5 miles down the road, basically, not right next door to the Home Depot, but about as far. Where in the world is Barack Hussein Obama? It's a good question, Sportsman. Thank you. That might be the title of the episode, actually. Yeah, fuck it. Stealing that. Thank you. Where in the world is Barack Hussein Obama? It's a question that nobody's asking because everyone who knows Obama is fucking sick of Obama. But hey. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. So there's a computer repair shop about 1.5 miles from my house. I go there. It's closed. Not just not open for business. The internet said it was open for business until 7. The internet failed to mention that it is in fact an empty storefront with a for lease sign. So that's annoying. At this point, by the way, I've passed this computer repair shop dozens of times because it's on a main drag road that I go down dozens of times. And I've never taken a close look at the storefront, apparently, but I've seen the big sign up front, and it's been oh, there's a computer repair shop there. That's good to know should I need that for the future. Here it was the future, and I needed that. Turns out the place is fucking gone. Has been for Lord only knows how long. So that was fun. So at this point, I pull out my phone, and I'm just looking at my phone's map app and being like, computer repair shop near me. And the map app is like, hey, there's one over here. And I go over there, and it doesn't exist. The storefront is dead. And the map is like, don't worry, there's another one over here. And the next one over there. Quick tangent. There's a massive New England State Fair level event called the Entertainment Extravagance Expo or something. The Big E is in town. For those of you who are local to the _Goog, the Big E is in town. Not Mr. Langston, the former professional wrestler, whose drop I shall now hit. Did that actually come through? Glorious. Okay, good, it did. Sam says it didn't. That time it did. Weird. Very weird. Anyway. There we go. The Big E is in town. The third computer shop I went to was situated directly adjacent to the grounds of the Big E. And also doesn't exist anymore. Another empty storefront. So the map app says, don't worry, there's one a quarter of a mile from where you are now. And I go to that one, and I find another empty storefront. So I go to a fifth one, and the fifth one is a fucking condo complex, and when I call them, I get a busy signal. So I gave up and went to Best Buy. The fuck is Barack Obama? It's a good question here. All right, so that's an American flag. This is De Cero a 5 a.m. Isn't there a cyber exchange at Riverdale Shops? Not open on Mondays. Was one of the ones that the internet was kind enough to tell me was closed. But, yeah, that one's not open on Monday. Yesterday, in case you forgot or are watching this in the far-flung future, was Monday. Let's see here. Hold on. This is the something integral. Okay. I have a vague idea that this might be. Oh, hold on. That's not the Spanish flag. This is... What flag is this? I think this is some South American nation. South or Central American. Would help a lot if I recognized this guy, but I don't. So... Alright. So Barack Obama is at some happy handshakey event with... people of which South American country do I think that is? It's not Venezuela. It might be Colombia. It's not going to be any of these because the America doesn't care about any of these. Just blanket statement there. It could be Ecuador. It's not Chile. It's not Brazil. Brazil's flag I'd recognize. I don't think it's Bolivia. It could be Argentina, but... No, I think Argentina's flag is like light blue. I say that because Argentina's soccer jerseys are light blue, and that's probably a bad way to live your life, is to assume that a team's flag looks anything like their soccer jerseys. But, all right. So we're in San Jose, Costa Rica, in how salt and pepper is Barky's hair here. It's fairly. He's got a little bit of gray going on. This is probably late first term Barack Obama. Yeah, we'll say this is 2012. Seems reasonable. Listen, the presidency ages everyone who gives a fuck about it. Go look at photos of Barack Obama from 2008 and then compare them to photos of Barack Obama in 2016. That man aged. Oh, God. We were in Colombia. Okay, fine. But I got the year right, so that's nice. Next, we have some Chrysler vehicles. Hold on. Can I infer anything from your license plate? No. No, I cannot. other than not American. So, that's nice. Also, generally looking at all of this, not American. Hello, Nora. Hi. Oh, are you here to beg for food again? Probably. I'll feed you after Gim. Alright, let's see here. So this is the Sikmak Yazakt, which is nice. Alright, come here. Come here. Doot. Doot. Ow, hi. Alright, let's see here. This feels Russian? For no particular reason? Just, big round temple-y deal with massive spires? The _Goog about Barack Obama. That's a true statement. That is the thing that I said. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. This building here is giving major Russian vibes. Today's date is abbreviated the same in both America and Europe. Hey, it is indeed the 9th of September. That is nice. Not as nice as the 9th of June or, say, the 6th of September, depending on where you live. But, it's still nice. All right. Yeah, this building here is giving Russia vibes, and I can't tell anything about anything else, so we're just gonna find us a body of water in vaguely western Russia and suggest that we're on the coast of it. Such as, I don't know, this river in Moscow, actually. There. We are right there in 19... Don't Move the Thing? I want to say a little bit earlier than Don't Move the Thing, but I'm always wrong when I say earlier, so we're in 19 Don't Move the Thing. It was 1955, a little bit earlier than Don't Move the Thing. Also, nowhere near Russia. We were, in fact, in Turkey. So, okay. All right, fine. So I finally give up and go to Best Buy. And Best Buy, it should be noted, is only barely an electronics and computer store at this point. It is basically a front marketing subscription services and in garbo crap. But they do have one whole entire aisle devoted to computer accessories. And on that aisle devoted to computer accessories, they mostly have headphones and keyboards and mice. But they have one pegboard on their one aisle devoted to cables. And on their one pegboard devoted to cables, in their one aisle devoted to computer accessories, they have one peg devoted to SATA cables. So I got one. And I got one, and I came back home. And I had a brief panic moment because it turned out that the built-in power cable that was in the computer was just long enough to connect the existing SSD and other hard drive, and theoretically to add a third, but not to then remount the hard drive sled where it had been mounted. I had to rejigger that thing 6 times. But I got it. And the data cable went in nice and smooth, and I plugged everything back in, and I shoved the patient's guts back in there, and the side of the case only bulges a little bit now, and that's totally fine. We're at a farmer's market. Okay. This is in Louisiana, thanks to this signage here. So we're at a farmer's market in Louisiana. That narrows it down rather substantially. All tenants must abide by rules and regulations of the French Market Corporation, the land of the city of New Orleans, the state of Louisiana. All right, then. So we are at the French Market in New Orleans in 1970? That's a good pull, Sam. That's a good pull. We are at the French Market in New Orleans in 1970. So let's go down here, zoom in this-ish way, see if we can just stumble upon a thing that is specifically noted as like the French Market, or there's a quarter of that same name. If we find the French Quarter, that'll be good. I remember not too long ago we found Bourbon Street, kind of accidentally. I think Bourbon Street is in the French Quarter. Hey, look, It's Bourbon Street. All right. So let's say this little piece of green right here looks like it might be involved in, say, farmhousery or something. And that's the French Market Inn, so it's presumably in or near the French Market. That stands to reason, doesn't it? All right. So we are right there in, 1970? Sure. 1975. And we were a mile or so down the road. Oh, well. Next. Oh, we got fellas on a boat. Oh, the Russian building looked very Ottoman, but most buildings don't resemble household furniture, Sam. Sigh. All right. So what paper are y'all reading? This is The Sun. That doesn't help terribly much. I think that's London? Might be jolly London town. Romania, which is presumably Romania, fears British bombs. Interesting. I guess that could be a guy in Germany named Romania? Heinrich von Romania? No? I don't think so. All right. German invaders alarming something Wells. Dictator losing his grip. Okay. Well, that's good. Dictators losing their grip is generally enjoyable. It goes poorly in the short term, but, eventually they don't have a grip anymore, and that's better. All right. So these folk are reading the Sun. Well, this guy, at least, is reading the Sun, which is a London-based newspaper, which is great. Heavily indicative that we may be in or near jolly London town, but, London-based newspapers tend to gravitate. Let's see here. That would be a bridge. There are plenty of bridges in jolly London town. This appears to be either inverted cursive handwriting or just random nonsense script. I think it is inverted cursive handwriting, but practically speaking, it's random nonsense script. So really all we have to go on is the general look of the fellas and the British newspaper talking about the events of World War II. So let's head here into jolly London town. Suggest ever so gently that we may be on a boat in the Thames, like so right there. And the year is 1944. That seems reasonable. That's oh good God. Was Sydney. I should have realized that we weren't in the Thames because the Thames isn't this wide. So, okay. Whenever Time Guesser requires Sam to figure out if something is World War I or World War II, he always guesses wrong, which is funny. Hi there, the ass end of the Great Wall of China. Just going to assume at a glance that this is the ass end of the Great Wall of China. It seems like a reasonable suspicion, actually, given the whole large walliness of this fortification, and, if one zooms in enough, the general vaguely Chineseness of its people. So, let's see here. So the ass end of the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is like in the middle of China, right? It's like, it goes like here-ish? I think it's like here-ish. Could be wrong about all of that, but it's not like there's going to be one dot on the map labeled the Great Wall of China. It's kind of, the whole thing about the Great Wall of China is that it, is a big old wall. So, well, fuck it. Let's play a hunch. And the hunch is that the Great Wall of China goes yigi like so. And that means that the ass end of the Great Wall of China is either going to be at this weird body of water up here, not helpful, or all the way down here into a body of water that was going to be maybe the South China Sea, but is instead the Gulf of Tonkin. Okay. Is this the... Okay. Oh, the Gulf of Tonkin is part of the South China Sea. I see. I understand now. Anyway, ass end of the Great Wall of China. You're like, what, here? Right here on your Vietnam border and all that? Sure. Let's say that the ass end of the Great Wall of China is right there. As to the when of this, I don't know, man. This seems fairly recent. Not like horrendously this very day or nothing. See a fella with a rather substantial camera and getting 90s. Feels like mid-1990s? Yeah, it could be mid-1990s. I don't see no phones or nothing. Do I? Wait. Are you posing for a picture here, or are you just waiting? You're just waiting for a thing. Okay. Yeah. All right. This person here appears to be looking at their camera, trying to see if they, got the shot or something. So we're going 1990s, specifically 1996. I was at the wrong end of the Great Wall of China. It's the eastern end of the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China does more like this than like this. Okay. 34,100. That, it would have been better if I hadn't done that. Or that. Or for that matter, that. But, that is reasonably acceptable. The rest of these, not so much. Sadness and failure. All right. Oh, God. So where was I in my horrible hard drive story? I got back from Best Buy, cable in hand, hooked everything up, had a brief and terrifying panic with the power cable being too short. Figured it out. Re-screwed the thing together. The case only slightly bulges now. That's where I was. I plugged everything back in, and first bit of good news, thing turned on. I had successfully not broken anything. I did, however, not have a hard drive. The hard drive just wasn't showing up as one of the available hard drives, and I had a very brief and scary panic. But I went to my device manager, and the device manager said, yeah, there's a hard drive here. Not going to do anything about it, but yeah, there's a hard drive here. And I went to my Discord server, and I went, huh? And our good friend Sunflare Space said, you have to partition it. And I was like, that's a word I've heard. I don't know how to do that, though. And Sunny was like, I'd tell you, but I'm tired. And listen, it was late in Europe by the time Sunny said that. So thank you for saying that right before going to bed, Sunflare Space. So I went to Google, and Google was like, hey, here's how you do it. And I don't trust Google, but Google also pointed me to 6 different websites, and they all said the same thing. Hey, here's how you do it. And it turns out that partitioning a hard drive, which I had always heard as this ancient mythical borderline dark art of computer wizardry, no, it takes 3 clicks. It takes 3 clicks, and you wait for a thing to load, and it takes 10 seconds to load, and then it loads. And then you have a hard drive. So now I have a hard drive. I have an extra 4 terabytes of space. Yay! Means I can re-download all of the games I deleted. I can have places to stash my raw videos. Oh, so happy and satisfied. Until I eventually fill up 4 terabytes, at which point I'll be like, listen, Sam, where shall I put all of my files? I shall functionally put all of my files. But yeah, is a 4 terabyte hard drive is very nice. For today's immaculate grid, we need Angels and Blue Jays and Tigers and Yankees and Dodgers and dudes what pitched. A dude what pitched for the Detroit Tigers is Bert Blyleven, Francisco Liriano, Brandon Inge one time, I think. Let's say a dude what pitched for the Detroit Tigers is Joaquin Benoit. That's a true and factual statement. Let's see here. Let's see. A dude who played for the Tigers and the Dodgers is David Price. He was very good at baseball and certainly never traded for less than nothing. A dude who played for the Yankees and the Tigers is Cecil Fielder. It's a factual statement. Cecil Fielder, former New York Yankee. A dude who played for the Yankees and the Blue Jays is Roger Clemens. We're just taking the layup today. Tankies, obviously. They're... I forget what exact political alignment the derogatory term tanky is supposed to refer to. Internet communists? I think tankies are internet communists. But I could be very wrong about that. That could be the wrongest statement I've ever made. So don't hold me to that. Dude who played for the Dodgers and Blue Jays is Kevin Kiermaier? I think Kevin Kiermaier was a Dodger. I know Kevin Kiermaier was a Blue Jay. But if he was a Dodger, he would have been a very late career Dodger. So let's hold on that. A dude who pitched for the Blue Jays is Pat Hentgen. A dude who pitched for the Angels is one Shohei Ohtani. Dude who played for the Dodgers and the Angels is also one Shohei Ohtani, but you know we can think of better and more fun guys than that, I suppose. Dude who played for the Yankees and the Angels is Mark Langstrom. I think Mark Langstrom was a Yankee. Not 1,000% certain of that though. Might want to have a little think. Was Mark Langstrom a Yankee? Now I'm very much not certain. I've successfully talked myself out of that. What about other things? Dude who played for the Dodgers and Blue Jays is also David Price, but that doesn't necessarily help us too much. Dude who played for the Dodgers and Angels. Apparently Cecil Fielder was an Angel, so good for him. You know, according to certain religions, Cecil... Never mind. Dodger and Blue Jay is... Oh, is it good? Darwin? No. Fuck it. We'll go Kevin Kiermaier. And if that's wrong, and it turns out to be wrong. Kevin Kiermaier. Hey. All right. Guy who played for the Dodgers and also the Angels. Was Rod Carew a Dodger? No. No, he was not. Oh, there is a button to press. Thank you for reminding me that Zach Greinke exists. God. Bad at hitting the Zach Greinke button lately. All right. Now, a Yankee who was also an Angel. Oh, we're taking layups today. Mark Teixeira. Mark Teixeira was a Yankee and also an Angel. There we go. Hey, 52. That's better than I usually do, even on my immaculate grids. Hooray! This Bobby Abreu. Hideki Matsui was an Angel? I thought that for his time in the States, Hideki Matsui was a career Yankee. I did not know that Hideki Matsui played for the Angels. Well, good for you, Hideki Matsui. You took some of Artie Moreno's money. All right. Let's see here. Was there anything else? I don't think there was anything else. Folks, I intend to be back later this evening once again for Cyberpunk 2077. Until then, that shall be the end of this edition of Good Morning Mini Motorways. We will return tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Eastern for another one. Until then, thank you all so very much for being here. Have a wonderful day. And this is the end screen. Bye.